Last time Maeve came to visit us here at Lost Artistry, she ended up leaving with a tiny bit of a chemical burn. Ooh, not proud to say that, but it does happen sometimes. So the thing about Maeve is that she's not necessarily sensitive to the adhesive, but she did in fact leave her eyes slightly open while she was resting, particularly when she was speaking. So today's video is focusing on how to deal with clients like Maeve who may come to see you after they've had some kind of irritation, such as chemical burn or pad irritation, or just simply sensitive to the adhesive fumes. So I dealt with Maeve's service today just as I would any other sensitive clients. Doesn't matter if I'm the person who's caused a sensitivity or if they come and say that they've had sensitivities before or they've said that they've had a chemical burn in the past. So first things first, we need Freshy. Freshy is one of my favorite products. It is the easiest to use. You simply open the jar and lay it right on the side of your client's head, and what it does is absorbs the glue fumes. So it takes the glue fumes away from the client's eye and it sucks it into the bottle so that we're lessening the likelihood of that glue irritating the eyes. It's also good for you as the artist if you are sensitive to the fumes as well, or maybe you have allergies or something. Having that Freshy open will help eliminate the absorption of those glue fumes. Number 2, tell your client as much as you love speaking with them that there's no talking today, time for a lash nap, because the more the clients talk, the more their cheeks move and the more their eyes flicker around. So we want everything to stay calm and relaxed and those eyes to stay nicely shut. Number 3, go ahead and use a sensitive adhesive if you want, especially if your client is actually sensitive to the adhesive. But today for Maeve, I know for a fact she's not sensitive to the adhesive and that her fluttery open eyes are what causes the problem. So I did use Quickie today, but you could also grab for Sensitize or Invisibond if you're using Lost Artistry lash products. Those two products have less cyanoacrylate, which equals a sensitive adhesive. Number 4, make sure you grab just a tiny bit of adhesive when you're dipping. No bubbles, less glue is definitely more, especially if your client is sensitive. But basically, all the time when you're lashing, you don't need a lot of adhesive. If you're finding that you need extra glue in order to get that bond to stick, then perhaps you want to move to a slower cure time adhesive, so it'll give you much more time to solidify that bond. Number 5, always check your iPads while you're working, or your tape, whatever you're using to isolate the bottom lashes. The pads should always sit below the waterline, never over. Once they move over that waterline, we can cause a striped sclera, which isn't caused by the glue fumes, but it is important to bring up anyways. So the gelatin, also make sure that the gelatin isn't forming around the waterline. If there's gelatin on your pad, take it off and just remove the gelatin. You can put the pad back on, or you can, like I said, check your pads frequently, or you can move them around. Sometimes I'll lash just the inner corner first and I'll just isolate the inner corner with my iPad. Then I'll do the same for the middle part of the eye and the outer part of the eye. So you can move your pads around, and I do this with the eyes closed. If you want a tutorial, go ahead and comment. We can absolutely send you an iPad placement tutorial where I move the pads around and also where I apply the pads with the eyes closed, because a lot of people are only taught to apply iPads with the eyes open, but applying them closed is such a great tool to have in your back pocket, especially if clients are sensitive and sensitive to light as well. Number 6, today I have chosen to lash one eye before the other. I always am concerned about balancing the eyes out when I work on one eye and then the other, so it's really important if you do this to follow your mapping to a T and know exactly what you've done on one eye before you move on to the next. The reason why I chose to do this today is because if I'm working on one eye only, then I'm lessening the likelihood of irritation on each eye because A, the pads aren't sitting on the eyes for as long, and B, the glue fumes aren't around the eyes for as long. So if we can lessen any possibility of irritation, we may as well do so. So I worked on one eye and then worked on the other. And it was really cool doing that because I also got to see exactly what my set looked like halfway through and the difference that it made, which was pretty cool. I actually like doing this sometimes anyways, even if my clients aren't sensitive, because it's such a good post to make on your social media platform. Potential clients can see exactly how impactful a lash set can be, and that is definitely beneficial. Number 7, when we finish our set, we want to make sure that the lashes are completely cured. So during the service, I use my little fan here, which is also my glue shaker, because Lost Artistry glue braider is what it's called, but our glue shaker also subs as a fan. So it's nice to have both, but I always just give a little blow of the eyes just to soothe the eyes during the service and help that moisture move around and cure the lashes nicely. And then on top of that, when I finish the service, I'm gonna go in with my most magical lash product ever. If you don't use this product, you have to. You absolutely have to. It is like the holy grail of lash supplies. So it's called Super Bonder. You can buy it obviously at Lost Artistry Lash. And what Super Bonder's purpose is to A, cure the lashes right away without shock curing. So it's making that bond really strong, and it's locking in all the fumes. So it's great for clients who are sensitive. Not only does it do that, but it also helps maximize retention. It is gonna create a barrier around the bonding agent, which is gonna make the bond so strong. And it's also gonna make it oil resistant. I didn't say oil proof, but oil resistant, because we do have a lot of oils that collect around the skin, around the eyes, around that lash line, which do act as a remover. So if we use Super Bonder, then that's not going to irritate the bond. And last thing, it's like the benefits of this product never end, but it also helps make the bonding point flexible and darker. So what flexible means when we're talking about lashes is that your client can actually lay on their face, and say they put their face in the pillow or something, it's not gonna snap the bond, it's just gonna be flexible, it'll be able to move fluidly as the client lives their day-to-day life. And then the last thing I did for Maeve today was busted out my Nano Mister after the service. So Nano Mister and Super Bonder both cure the lashes, but I don't use my Nano Mister to cure the lashes. Instead, I use it to soothe the eyes. And if a client has sensitivities or is a little bit irritated by the glue fumes, we just wanna lessen that at all costs. So you just grab your Nano Mister and give a nice Nano Mist after the Super Bonder's already worked. And then that's just gonna feel really soothing for the client, and it's gonna offer an easy entrance into the real world again. So go ahead and finish with that, and that is exactly what I did for my client today to make sure that she did not leave my room with red eyes, irritation, burning, itchiness, anything. And when she left, she said she didn't feel a thing. So it obviously worked. I'm really happy about that. But if you have any suggestions on tips and tricks that you use to lessen the likelihood of irritations for your clients, go ahead and let us know in the comments below. And if you like this content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you're always notified when Lost Artistry posts brand new content.